dollars or more.
Okay.
Which is why we have three A documents here today.
So if you had a contract with a company for $10,000 and for whatever reason it went up to $80,000, that would be your discretion to be able to do that?
If I had a contract for
That was
what kind
awarded
of
for
contract? All right, what kind of contract are you talking about?
This-
We have two types of contracts.
Right.
Okay, we have one-time buys, which is a purchase order, and we have ongoing contracts, which are blanket orders.
So if you had a
Now,
blanket
if
order.
somebody came to me with a purchase order and said, I want an increase, I would say no,
Right.
because that was the price that was agreed upon. A blanket order is a long-term contract. It's reviewed annually, and if the vendors, because of whatever circumstances, require additional money, they come to me and say, I need additional money. My prices are going up. They have to justify it. We check the Bureau of Labor Statistics and stuff like that.
Okay, well, and there's no, you could increase it by 100%, and if it was justified, you can do that.
No, I would not increase it by 100%.
Well, if you had a $10,000 contract and went up to $20,000.
Well, again, I'm asking you again, what kind of contract?
Right.
You have to tell me what you're talking about, then I can answer it.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the purchase order, the blanket.
A purchase order is a fixed amount.
Okay, but the blanket is
A
variable.
blanket order is for 1 year.
All right. All right. I wasn't as familiar with how that worked. I know obviously there are times when there are increases, but I just wasn't sure at what point. So it would not come back before the legislature for an adjustment unless it reached $100,000?
Correct.
I would like to see if we could put that in our changes going forward, is that we would at least be notified as legislature, just so we know if a contract we gave for a certain amount was increased substantially, just so that we were aware of it. But I know that's not your decision, but that's something I think we
The
should.
question is, you can ask me to do anything. I have people in the legislature come to me and ask me for information, and I provide. The question is, you have to tell me exactly what you want, and I will see if we can provide.
I would like to know any time that this type of contract is increased. I think we should get an email.
All right, why don't you send me an email, and I will be glad to reply to it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Legislator Barno, do you have the floor for comments? I see you. I do. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Thank you, Presiding Officer. And, sir, I'm sorry, please return to the microphone. And my questions are along the lines of legislators who's written. So we're going to enter into a contract for 5.2 years. But we're going to allow for adjustments in the expenditure for that contract based on the needs of the vendor. That's what you stated, right?
Are we talking about a blanket order?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about the item before you.
Okay.
Am I understanding that correctly?
You're correct.
So if we're anticipating that there could be changes, but first of all, let me just state this. I would think that entering into a long-term contract would be for the benefit of yielding some kind of stability in cost over an extended period of time, or achieving some savings over an extended period of time. And if we're opening the contract by this blanket order, increasing the expenses, we might be, I'm almost certain, that we're probably reducing any opportunity to achieve savings. And so my question is, why would we enter into a 5.2-year contract if we believe there's some variability and we're not stabilizing that variability by maintaining the contract terms? Why wouldn't we enter into a shorter contract period?
Because we feel that it's in the best interest of the county from a stability point of view.
But I argue that we're removing any stability
Well,
from
you
the
can't, you're
contract.
making a supposition that price is gonna go up.
Well, I'm sure no one
We've
comes
had-
back and gives us money.
We have contracts that don't go up.
That stay
We have
stable.
contracts that may go up in the third year of the contract or the fourth year of the contract. In other words, they don't go up automatically. It's only when there is a need for the vendor to recoup his increased costs that he comes to us.
And so, I hear what you're saying. So, and you're the person left now to determine whether that, or the person in your position determines whether there's going to be an increase year after year in the event that the vendor requested.
That's correct.
And so, what do you base your decisions on? You basically
They
go,
have
do you
to
go
s-
back out to the market in any way to
We-
determine?
Well, first thing we do, as I said before, is we look at the cost of living indexes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics to see what they are. We go to the end users and see what they know in the marketplace, what the cost should be. The vendor has to apply to us with documentation indicating why his costs are going up.
So and so you stated that only if the blanket order exceeds $100,000 would you have to return to this body, is that correct?
No. I have to come to this body on any contract that will exceed $100,000. That's what the charter says.
$100,000 in a particular year? Or,
In a year. All our contracts are one-year contracts.
but this particular contract is 5.2?
No. All our contracts are one-year contracts. A blanket order is a contract for 1 year with the ability to extend it each additional year for 1 year.
So, I think the purpose of entering into longer term or having the option to be in a longer term contract should in some way stabilize our costs, and I would say that having this ability to adjust year to year does not achieve that outcome. Thank you.
Any other comments from the legislature? Any public comment? There being none, all those in favor of A 4217 signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The item passes 4-3. Next item. 17, resolution authorizing county executive to award and execute a contract between the county of Nassau acting on behalf of the Nassau County Department of Public Works and Inc. Electrical contractors.